What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about two very popular guns from Planet Eclipse, the LV2 and the Geo IV here. I'm talking with Daddy Joel. He's got all the knowledge. I'll give you my opinion here and there. But if you guys happen to like this video, definitely be sure to find us on social media, subscribe to the channel, check out the link in the description to pick up either one of these bad boys. Let us know which one was your favorite, and we'll catch you after the intro.
I'm so free.
I've got the LV2 here.
And I have the Geo IV. I don't remember what color I grabbed, but it's fine. We'll figure it out. So, Joel, let's just hit on packaging.
It's a box.
Also a box. Better box.
Better box. This thing drives me out of my mind. Sleeve.
Sleeve be gone.
Once again, I just really like throwing that thing. All right, so here's the deal. Planet Eclipse usually has had the same exact packaging for quite some time. So the Geo IV is definitely no different. The 170R CS2, LV 1.6, all of the Planet boxing has been the same. It's been that aluminum case, but the Planet Eclipse LV2, they did change a few things, so that's what we're here.
Change the game a little bit.
That's right. So we are here to show that difference here before we actually tap into these two different guns. Yours is aluminum, mine's got this like fabric on it. This is the case that I have been using, but I haven't really, I've had it in my gear bag.
Doesn't seem any worse for the wear.
But yeah, so far so good. I'm curious, I don't think it's gonna dent as easily as that one does.
Are we convinced that this is still like you said aluminum, right? Are we convinced
I think
that
it's
this is
aluminum
still,
underneath.
I think so too. Sounds the same as this,
Yeah.
so.
It's got a handle here, that one does not. Let's get into
I do think that's a pretty cool upgrade.
Yep. Alright, so this is kind of the big thing, guys, as far as the difference goes. So as you can see here, mine's compartmentalized, Doug's is not.
There is no flappage in here.
Correct. So you've got your LV2 with your tool tube. With this one, you've got this like elastic band here, which definitely seems like a good quality. Still full-size color manual, as Doug has his full-size color manual here. No differences there.
Yep. All the things it comes with, you have lube or oil, whatever the gun is,
the
different. And this also still comes with the other bolt, wrenches, parts kit. Parts kit for Planet Eclipse, awesome. Joel really likes it because it shows you what to use.
Yep.
But getting right down to it.
Well, let's talk before we get too deep into it.
Fine, God.
Let's talk barrels, because one thing that this does come extra with is it does come with two inserts. So the LV2 is going to come with a 685 and a 689 insert.
This bad boy is a
689.
Yes, sir.
689. 689. So this has the S63 barrel system, guys. It's the new barrel system offered by Planet Eclipse. It's going to be a three-piece barrel design, meaning barrel back, barrel front, and then barrel inserts. So the barrel insert slides in from the rear end, and overall,
it's got its own kind of locking, so it doesn't go any further forward.
Overall, I like it. We've talked about it already a few times, but overall, I think it's a good barrel system. It reminds me very similar of the Freak barrel system as far as how it operates, or even the that or the Aculock. People have said that it reminds them of the Aculock.
That was my thought when I first saw it. Was the Aculock.
Doug, yours is a two-piece barrel design.
It is only dose pieces, yep. And this has kind of been their standard for a little while now with these FLs. But I guess it was time to switch it up, start something new.
Yeah.
I can understand, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know why. It's kind of cool. I like the porting.
Porting's nice. It's spiral porting. Same thing with that. As far as sound signature and all that stuff, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. This does still have the FL sleeve. So you are going to be able to customize it, very similar to the FL barrel system.
And the HK laser kit
Yep.
that may or may not have ripped off a little bit.
All right, guys, so getting into the actual guns here. So packaging, I definitely think the LV2 packaging, they did improve on that. So,
I could agree.
Yeah. Poppet valve
versus
spool valve.
Spoolie valve.
Yeah, yeah.
All contained right in here.
All right in there?
Mm-hmm.
So guys, the LV2 is the newest and best platform from the LV series of guns.
And even as a non-PE shooter, typically I can say that's been my favorite so far.
Yeah, so before we get into the shooting, I mean, obviously, Doug, you shot it, so that's, I think, what you're referring to. But there's definitely a lot of different features on this that make it more modern and more competitive to, like, the Geo IV. But before we get into the features, why don't we talk price point, and we'll do weight real quick before we get into all the features.
Sure.
So price point on this is going to be $1,600.
Yep. And this one is, these are $1,200. Last I checked, they're $1,250.
They're 13.
Oh, they raised?
Yes, they did raise them during COVID. So
yes. I'm going to put the barrel on for weighing as well.
there you go.
But yes, so prices did go up on PE.
Yep.
Guns, I did not remember what this one jumped up to, so that's $1,300 you said.
Correct, $1,300. Yep.
Okay.
So you're going to be at a price difference already of $300, and really the only extra thing that you're getting for the LV2 is you're getting an extra insert, really, in all reality.
Yep.
But
well, as far as physical things, but
as far as physical
other
things,
features, that's what could really sell you on the value.
Right.
But
all right, Doug, why don't you weigh the Geo4 here? Okay, so we're at 2 pounds, 2.2 ounces. That is with the FL barrel system on it.
Yep.
We've got the LV2 here. It's a little dirty, but
and this is battery as well.
yes, yep, 2 AA's. 2 pounds, 4.1 ounces. So the LV2 is heavier. It's also larger.
Yeah, that gun just takes up a little more room in the world, so it's not surprising. Kind of splitting hairs on the difference of like how heavy guns are at this point. We just picked up an Impulse in the shop earlier, and it's just like
super heavy.
Can't even pick the thing up. So
yeah.
I don't know. That's not going to make or break the difference for me, but for the sake of being accurate, it's still good to know.
Yes.
So next up, what are you thinking we should hit?
Let's talk about ergonomics.
Yes.
So quality-wise, it's going to be the same. So we don't really need to touch on that in this video. Build quality is going to be Planet Eclipse.
It's Planet. You can be the hell out of it.
Yeah, reliability factor is definitely going to be there. So let's talk about ergonomics, Doug, because I think that was a big thing for you when you were talking about the first time that you put in your hands.
It were. So for me, the big ergonomics discussion was largely comparing it to the 1.6 because there was AT pipe. I was never a fan. Felt like it got in the way.
Yep.
The conversation's going to be pretty consistent across the board at this point. The only difference for me will be the distance between the front and back of the grip going this way for the actual trigger side of the grip because it's a little longer going this way on the LV platform than it is with the Geos. So for me, that makes it a little harder to hold on to. I'm only about 5'8", I'm not really very tall, my hands aren't the biggest in the world, so I can still hold on to it fine and work with it, but if we're going what's actually going to get my hand around it more, it will be the Geo IV. So for those of you that aren't gargantuan size,
I'm gargantuan and I even struggle a little bit as far as,
So it is a fatter back grip because there's just a lot going on in there, but ergonomically, that's the only huge difference for me other than just general balancing of the gun because this is a stack tube, obviously, and this is a single tube. I think it's kind of a wash. I really think it just depends on you as a person, but I don't think either gun is at a disadvantage per se.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't know. Ergonomically, I do like both of them. I think that I do agree with your point. This feels more like a 170R back grip.
Yep.
This is definitely bigger in the front. Like it's thinner.
What do you feel that?
It's thinner this way compared to the Geo IV.
But it's longer this way.
Yeah. The Geo IV foregrip, in my opinion, feels a little bit more contoured to my hand when I grip it. One thing that I do like about the Geo IV, though, is this is kind of sounds goofy, but I like putting my finger behind there when I'm shooting. And this isn't from height-wise, it's going to be a lot shorter than the LV2.
Yes.
So for me, as a big guy and being a little bit taller, I actually like the way that the LV2 feels because when I pull up, I don't have to pull it up as far because to get
your nose where like the barrel
down
is,
the
right?
barrel.
Yep.
Yes. Whereas with the Geo IV, I don't have that as much. So
what you're saying is this is a lazy man's gun off the break.
it's definitely like lots of big guys are really loving this gun.
That's Crispy Chris Powell, one of our OSU alumni. The dude's like 6'7" or something.
Yeah,
he only shoots LVs.
Yeah.
Only does.
So, but overall, guys, ergonomically, if you're smaller hand, smaller person, probably going to go with the Geo IV. If you're a larger person, you're probably going to prefer the LV2. But then I handed out last weekend.
Michaela Brooks, who's barely 5 foot, she
loves
playing with the
LV2.
LVs. So I mean,
I would say overall it's kind of a wash. It's going to be a preference thing.
Yep.
All right. So Doug, this does have that better tunability.
Oh my goodness.
So like,
mind you, out of all the different spool valve guns that are out there, this does have the SFR, which definitely gives this a leg up over something like, say, the Shocker or like the Lux, as far as
the CS2
or the CS2 itself.
Yes.
If we're keeping it in Planet Eclipse, but like, there is still way more that you can do with the LV2, just because first of all, you can put a different rammer weight in there to begin, like
Correct.
before you even really tune anything, you can just drop a whole new piece of hardware in there and have a completely different shot.
Yeah. So tunability definitely is better on this compared to that. SFR stands for solenoid flow restrictor for anybody that doesn't know, and it's this little silver portion right there. 12 o'clock position is going to make the marker a little bit snappier. The 3 o'clock position, or the downward position, not downward position, but the, I guess you would
More
say
horizontal, I guess,
horizontal position is going to make the shot a lot more poofy.
A little more thwacky.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like a traditional luck shot or something like that.
Or like a die or something, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that is nice about the Geo IV. It's definitely nicer. But tunability wise, you're definitely going to give it to the LV2. So if you're definitely a gun tech kind of person, like you like working on your guns, the LV2 offers the LPR, so you're going to be able to tune your LPR. The LV2 also, you can adjust the solenoid, both the forward stroke of the bolt and the backward stroke of the bolt. So
Can
if you
you
want,
also adjust like rammer speed too or something, right?
yeah, that's what that's
for.
Yes.
Got it.
So so you can make it a really snappy shot. If you're going for high rates of fire, like real high rates of fire, you can adjust it like that. Or if you want like super slow but really like nice smooth shooting, you can also do that with the LPR and everything else like that. So tunability is definitely nice. You've got the HPR and the LPR all in this.
So basically, if you are no brain monkey like me and you want something that'll just shoot out of the box,
Geo IV is nice for that.
versus if you have a brain and you
Yep.
care about how your gun shoots.
So the other thing that they did with the LV2 is they made it tool-less. So to your point, no AT pipe, air through pipe. So the LV 1.6 had that. There's nothing like that anymore. They did update the OLED board. So the OLED board on
Yeah,
this,
here, go ahead and show them. Turn it
yep,
on.
is definitely going to be a little bit higher resolution than
And you got a blinker.
Yep.
But yeah, the high res is definitely gonna be here. Let me see it again too. I want to actually get a look at. Yeah, so that'll be easier to see in like direct sunlight than this one,
Yes.
correct?
Yep, and to your point, it does have a LED blinker, which is also nice because it's going to give you updates on your gun. So if you're in direct sunlight and you're having troubles, the LV2 with that LED indicator is going to be able to let you know, like, hey, your eyes are on, your eyes are off, your eyes are not working,
Having a fault or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. Toolless eye covers on the LV2.
Also toolless here as well. And I know we were talking earlier about one of the differences with the eye styles of these guys. I believe the Geo IV is one that has the mirrored eyes, is it not? Or is that the CS2?
That's the CS2.
Okay.
Yep, so this
Okay.
has eye cables, and so does this.
Okay, so really to me, that's a wash.
Yep.
And for both of them, to get to both of them, you have to take off. Actually, I'd say it's easier to get to these.
I would
'cause you only
agree.
have to take off one grip.
Yep, I would agree.
Careful with it. There we go. Like,
Till Doug sends it.
sends it through the table. but,
Another
like,
thing to
it's
note,
right there.
guys, before we go any further with the eyes, is that this takes a 9-volt, and the Geo
Double
IV
A's.
takes double A's. I prefer the double A's because my Spire takes double A's.
So you just buy one pack of batteries and you're
Boom, and you're done. Whereas with the LV2, you need to carry both 9 volts as well as double A's in your battery. But that's not a huge ordeal.
No, it's not the biggest thing. Something I want to point out. So Joel just took off the back grips of that. These are not the same. They function similarly with the
Good point. Yes.
the buckle here and all that. But and while it looks like the CS2 back grip, which we all know this is for the Geo IV, it is not. You cannot buy CS2 grips for your LV.
Yeah. All right, so for me, I'm just going to pop this latch back and my eye cover falls off. There's
That's super
nothing
easy.
else to that. It does take eye cables and it takes original Planet Eclipse detents. Same thing with the Geo IV.
Oh, there's the latch.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it should just, yeah,
Come
there you
right
go.
off. Look at that.
So guys, very similar as far as eyes go. So it definitely makes this LV2 much more competitive.
Oh yeah.
Compared to the LV 1.6 where you had to use an Allen key.
Justifies the price, that's for sure.
Yeah, so that's really nice. If you do want to change any of your solenoid settings, these two little notches right here is going to allow you to do that for any of that tuning that we were referencing earlier. And yeah, overall, like pretty similar when it comes to that. So, Doug, let's talk about the engine though. Like what
That's-
makes these two guns different?
I mean, this is all completely contained. The IV core It's been around, I know in the Geo 3.5, was it also in the 3 as well? When did the IV core itself start? Was that just with the Geo line?
So the original Geo 3 did not come with the IV core, but then I think the IV core was released
Was that an upgrade
as an upgrade for the Geo 3.
And then it came standard on the 3.5.
For the 3.5, yes. I believe the 3.1 as well. I'm not sure, guys.
And obviously the CS1.
CS1 and forward. So
Yep.
CS1, CS1.5, CSR, and then now the Geo 4.
Now the Geo 4. So this has been around for a while. People love the shot. Like we said, it can really be compared to like those older die guns, or like a Lux shot in a Planet Eclipse type gun. So I don't know. I have shot both of these, and as far as like how they operate, I can feel a lot of mechanics moving when I shoot a Geo 4 versus when I shoot the LV platform guns. I just don't feel anything. It's just the way it's balanced. Actually, I guess that's really it. It has a lot of balance. I don't think this ends up feeling as balanced when I'm shooting it, at least in my hands. But I'll toss those out to Joe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so like mechanically they're completely different on how they work. But I would say like first and foremost, they're going to both be extremely reliable.
Yep.
So neither one, in my opinion, has an advantage on reliability. So tunability, definitely LV2. Reliability, I think it's up in the air. The LV2, the LV series has always been extremely reliable, like bulletproof, and I think that the LV2 has that. But I've also seen Geo 4's been thrown through mud and stuff like that, and they never have any issues. So.
The only time really that I've seen an LV have an issue that I think is unique to having that like the more open kind of breach here is we're down in Florida, 2021, watching the Sunshine Major. Impact was playing. It's J-Rab that always has the LV guns, right? Mm-hmm. His just absolutely went on him, and we all were pretty certain it's because he got sand inside of it.
Oh,
you'll have way less likelihood of that happening in a completely closed engine like this.
Yeah.
It's way harder to get crap inside of there during inclement weather.
Yeah.
Way easier to have weather kind of affect that. It's, again, not as much of a thing as you would think, but I think it's still something to consider is weather. That's always been my biggest thing against getting an LV platform gun. But people make it work, so.
Yeah. That is definitely a good point. Like, it is much more vulnerable to that. So, I've seen, like, I was literally working on an LV 1.6 this morning where, like, the inside of where the rammer sits was, like, coated in mud and the thing was still cycling.
Yep.
But
that's
yeah,
the thing.
that's
Stuff will get in there, but it'll probably shoot through most of it.
Yeah, right. So, in my opinion, when it comes to engine, like, they're both great, but they're completely different, so it's hard to compare. I think overall, like you're gonna have to base it more upon shot quality as compared to like, are you a poppet guy or a spool guy? Because most people are used to spools.
At this point, yeah, pretty much everything in the market is a spool.
Right, and there's not really anything poppet anymore besides the LV platform of guns. But like shot quality wise, I mean, we could talk about that after we shoot them.
Yeah.
Overall, I think that they're both reliable. It's just going to be a difference of, I think that is probably a little bit easier to maintain, to your point.
Yes.
But what is nice is you've got your rammer cap here. This is a rammer. So the bolt actually sits inside the rammer like this, and then this hits the valve, which then opens air and allows the air to travel through. That's how a poppet valve gun works. So needless to say, with this, you pop your bolt out, and then you just take your rammer cap off, and you can't access it. So it is still toolless as long as you don't over tighten your rammer cap, which you don't have to. You can just keep it on there thumb tight. But I would say definitely as far as like ease of maintenance for that reason alone, I'm probably going to go with that.
This is super easy. I mean, Joel, there's a classic like discussion too of like how poppet valve guns are usually more efficient than spool valves. And I'm curious as to why. I've heard before it's because there's fewer moving parts, but from that description, it almost sounds like there's more moving parts that need to happen in a certain timing in order for the gun to operate. So I'm wondering if it's just the placement and weight of the materials as well, because that's a composite bolt. Is that even a metal bolt, or is that a composite material?
No, it's just a composite material. So like everything, you could take the bolt out of this gun, air it up, and the rammer's still going to go back and forth.
It'll still cycle.
Yeah, it's still going to cycle. The only difference is like nothing's going to happen. Like you're not going to be shooting anything because the bolt does that. So, but the bolt attaches to the rammer, right, and then that goes back and forth with the rammer.
Yep.
Okay. So completely different mechanics. As far as like efficiency goes, I think we did the efficiency on this. We got 1,500 shots out of 80.
It's almost a whole case.
With that, we got right around 15 or 1600 shots. The difference was that we did uncapped ramping on this.
Okay.
Whereas with that, we just did 10 balls a second.
Mm.
So I'd be curious to see, because most guys are getting like 1500 shots off of 68.
Yep.
We did it with an 80 and we got, 1500, almost 1600 shots. So like efficiency wise, they're going to be close enough, guys, where it's not really going to matter.
Yep.
So with that, I think we touched on everything. Let's
Pretty
go out.
much. Yeah, I want to go shoot this thing.
Let's go shoot them.
See you at the house.
So much wind.
All right, we're at Joel's house. We're going to shoot some paintball guns here. Joel, why don't you talk to us about the spread here?
All right, guys. So we have the LV2 here. We've got a Spire IR2 with my 90 with a haymaker. Output pressure is going to be 500 psi on the haymaker. We're shooting some Gi4 star here. I'm going to talk a little bit louder in case you guys have trouble hearing me through this wind. We got the Geo4, 4-star as well, Spire 3 on this, Ninja 77.
SL2 on there. Output pressure is low. I forget what it's the lowest pressure.
And we've got the SFR on this turned all the way to 3 o'clock position. We've chronoed both these guns right around the 280, 270 to 290 range. So, all right, first up, I'm going to shoot the LV2. Doug, you want to come over here?
Mm-hmm.
I'll turn this bad boy on ramp. You can see how easy that was.
Super easy programming. Look at that.
Boom. Boom. There's your OLED screen. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, now we got the Geo4. And like I said, SFR's all the way into the 3 o'clock position with the Geo4.
I think it's my turn to grab these things and feel them both. So I haven't shot a Geo4 in a bit, so let's get this. And you said this is all the way to 3 o'clock, so that's going to be snappier or more poofier?
More poofier.
More poofy. All right, so this is the poofiest it would be, theoretically. All right. I think I get the point with this.
What do you think, Doug?
Not bad.
You usually shoot a shocker amp.
I do.
And what do you think of the Geo4?
This is better than I've had it before. Like it's definitely better than I've experienced it before. So compare it to this now that they're directly side by side. Man, Joel, I gotta say, like, if we're talking just smoothness, strictly on just how it feels when it operates, I might have to go with this over the Geo4. I do like ease of maintenance for the Geo4. You know, it's a little more out of the box. You can just kind of do what you want with it and just go beat it up. For how this shot feels though, and what really have you done to this, Joel? Anything?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Completely stock.
Out of the box, totally stock. I don't know, man. Because they're chronoed about the same, shoot the same paint, same bore size too, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Both 8.9s.
I don't know, man. For the shot, I mean, don't get me wrong. Geo4 still totally smooth, not quite as thwacky as I remember. Maybe the previous one I was using had something weird. I don't know. It did feel pretty tight. This one, which is good, but if you're talking just overall smoothness and like the recoil not altering your shot at all, I'm gonna have to give it to the LV2 on this one.
All right. So here's the real question, Doug. With all the features considered and everything else like that, and the fact that you prefer the shot on the LV2, are you going to spend an extra $300 to get an LV2 over the Geo4?
I would say the cost is justified.
All right.
I would say you could justify the cost, so.
Well, there you guys have it. I think Doug did all the talking. I would agree with that. They're both great guns. For $300 more, the LV2 is definitely a great option. It comes with some really cool features that an LV platform has never had before. Geo4 is also an excellent gun. You're gonna definitely be happy with the G04 as well. But yeah, I go with Doug. I think that the LV2 wins this comparison video.
You won't be disappointed. But hey, link in the description, guys, to pick up either one of these bad boys. Let us know what you thought in the comments. We'll catch you next time.
See ya.
I'm so free.